Welcome. Today we're going to talk about whether you really need the M1 iPad Pro or whether the 2018 or 2020 versions will suit you. Before we do that, a few ways to support the channel. You can become a YouTube member. They actually get all my courses for free. You can find the links to all my courses below, and then you can subscribe, all that other stuff. Now let's dive in. 2020 iPad Pro, 2018 iPad Pro, or the M1 iPad Pro. Which one is the right one for you? So when you're going to make this decision, the first thing you need to do is decide, what are you actually going to do with this iPad? I think a lot of people have dreams of all the power they need and how much they're going to use in this iPad. And they need all the processing power, they need the fastest, whatever. But the truth is, most of you don't. In fact, I'm not even sure I do for my main work, which is programming. I really don't need all the power my M1 MacBook Air gives me. I would still actually be probably fine on my old 2014 MacBook Air. Yeah, MacBook Air, that's the right one. I'd probably be fine on that. Do I notice a difference between which my wife uses, that MacBook Air, and now my current one? Absolutely I do. But do I really need all the power the M1 MacBook Air gives me? Because I don't actually produce videos on my MacBook. I do it on my iPad. The answer is no, I don't. And same with the M1 iPad Pro. Do I actually need all the power? Yes, in a little bit, but the truth is, even with LumaFusion rendering videos, I do see some increased speed with the iPad Pro. I see a decent amount. Does it actually mean that I get more videos done? Does it mean I earn more money from YouTube or anything like that? No, it doesn't at all. It actually makes very little difference in my YouTube revenue and how many videos I can get done, because usually I'm rendering a video and I go walk away for a bit and I get to come back and the video is rendered and uploaded and everything. My internet speed probably has a bigger effect, and I have good internet, but a slower internet would probably have a bigger effect on how fast I can get videos out, how long it takes to render. Now, if you're in some production environment, I guess I'd wonder why you're using the iPad Pro. But if you're rendering lots of big videos regularly and render times matter, then the iPad Pro the M1 iPad Pro is actually a really good machine that will be faster than either the 2020 or the 2018 iPad Pro. Now for the rest of you, like my wife who has my 2018 iPad Pro. She surfs Facebook, she browses the web for things, she sends emails, she writes some stuff in Pages, and that's it. You will see no difference whatsoever between a 2018, 2020, or M1 iPad Pro if that's your use case. You'll see no difference whatsoever. I'm looking right now at the Apple site. You can find a refurbished 2018 iPad Pro with 512 gigabytes of space for $1,000 US. You can find the M1 version for $13.99. Now, I would say with the 2018, a better buy is the 1 terabyte versions because they have 6 gigabytes of RAM. I would say with the 2020s, get whatever one you want, right? So refurbished 12.9-inch iPad Pro. This is a 2020 model. You can tell because of the square camera module here. Is $999 with Wi-Fi. It's actually good. So that's actually Wi-Fi and cellular. $999. So for a 4th generation iPad Pro, which will have 6 gigabytes of RAM, it has the LiDAR camera, it's a great deal. You save $400. You save $400 versus the M1 iPad Pro. The only other thing that you might get is, again, if you're transferring huge files and you need to pull them off a camera and you need to put them in your M1 iPad Pro, it does have Thunderbolt 4. I gotta be honest, Thunderbolt 4 has been a mixed bag for me. I have a Kensington dock, I have a CalDigit dock, I have an OWC dock, and it's been a mixed bag, especially with the iPad Pro. I found that USB-C monitor out doesn't work on the iPad Pro at all. I have used my spare monitor with it a bunch, but it doesn't work currently at all. I have found that USB 4 doesn't even work with my M1 MacBook Air very well. I cannot put my camera that I'm speaking into directly into the MacBook Air through the dock, even though it should be fast enough, it just doesn't work. It pauses after a little bit, and I'm out of luck. So I'm not living that one cable lifestyle, which is so hard. But these things are expensive for what seems like very little benefit for almost everyone at this point. Future-proofing? Sure. Now, if you are really going to buy an M1 iPad Pro, I would suggest that the 1 terabyte model is where you want to start because it has 16 gigabytes of RAM. And you will not notice this today. But my question is, will you notice this in 6 or 7 years? So back when I bought would be a 10-inch iPad Pro, 9-inch iPad Pro, small one, iPad Pro, the first kind of small iPad Pro that was out there. I loved it, and then it very quickly fell off. Like, it was hard to use, it and ended up dying. So I have older iPad minis that continue to work, and that iPad Pro is just gone and dead. Don't know what happened to it. But I found that it, more quickly than any other device I've had from Apple, started to see its end of life because it was RAM limited. It was, early. Whereas my 2018 iPad Pro humming along fine. Old iPad minis humming along fine. Old iPads are actually humming along just fine, right? iPads that no longer get updates to iOS 15. They're like stuck on 12.8 or something like that. They still work, and that one iPad Pro didn't. I think that you will future-proof yourself by getting the 16 gigabytes of RAM that is available in the 1 terabyte version. Finally, if you really just want the M1 because you have the money and you want to buy it, go buy it. Like, enjoy your expenditure and enjoy the device. I just think that for most people, you're not going to see the faster transfer speeds because you don't transfer big video files. You're not going to see the faster processing speeds really because you're browsing the web or you're looking at task managers, and that is not actually something that is going to benefit from this in any real world circumstance where you notice it. That's it. If you like the video, thumbs up below. If you loved it, subscribe, hit the bell. YouTube will let you know something happened. You can also become a YouTube member. They get my courses for free. Or you can go to Skillshare, take one of my courses. You'll find all the links to that below. Have an excellent day.